Sack and Jack. He's Rob Zachary. I'm Jack Ferris. It is, well, if you're listening to this, I guess it's Monday.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
What's the future like?
I don't know. It's gonna be a good future. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be turning 32 this weekend.
You're turning 32.
Yep.
So wait a minute. That's not correct. You're turning 33.
No.
So your 29th birthday was the one where we got on the party
Was it
bus.
that long ago?
It was 3 years ago. Yeah, because I was still in Spokane.
Man.
What did you do for your 30th?
Chill.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I'm just chilling. I'm always chilling, man. I have people over at the house, have some beers. Low key. Keep it low key, man. But you know what's not low key?
What's not low key?
Have you ever woken up and there's been just a song stuck in your head immediately when you wake up?
All the time, but I'm willing to venture a guess that our earworm songs are very different.
I don't know if they are.
Oh,
Dude.
I'm sure they are. How often do you wake up with like Dixie Chicks in your brain?
That's funny you said that.
Get out of here. No way.
I woke up with Shania Twain.
No way.
Dude.
Folks, it's synergy defined.
Dude, I woke up with
unrehearsed.
Shania Twain banging in my head for some reason. I cannot stop playing this damn song.
That don't impress me much, or what?
Oh man, what is it? No, her first single. What was it? I had to get it. I had to go grab it on my phone because I couldn't remember how the song went.
Any Man of Mine.
Yes.
Any Man of Mine.
Oh,
that's,
dude.
by the way, that was, Rob can attest, I didn't scramble to look that up. That's just Shania Twain.
I know. That's why I was
catalog.
just trying. It was her first single, great Canadian. And it just, as soon as I woke up, I'm like, doo, 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 doo. And I was like, oh, what is going on?
Let me tell you something, man. Summertime in Spokane is 90s female country time.
Oh, dude.
I've spoken before about Jody Messina on this podcast. Jody Messina, if you don't know who I'm talking about, give her a Google. She sings like 12 bangers, and she is not celebrated with the likes of Shania Twain, and that is a crime.
Dude,
I stand for Jody Messina.
This song has been, I played it in the Lincoln with the subs, banging it. I was loving it, right, dude? I love that song. It's like the greatest Canadian anthem.
That's why you're a 7'1" NBA player with Canadian and Louisiana roots, and you bang 90s female country. That's why you have something for everybody.
Oh, Terry Clark. Oh man. All these Canadian females. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I need to turn this off, man. I gotta put some rap on or something. It's been going.
No, embrace it.
But yeah, that's been my morning, all morning.
You know who loves 90s country? I'm sure of it. We didn't ask him, but I'm sure of it.
Oh, no question.
One Chris Kaman.
No, absolutely. I know he's on the board.
Chris Kaman on the show. I don't think any Zag talk, which is probably refreshing to some of you. It's gonna be a mostly Zag-free episode. I do have some Zag news and notes, but first and foremost, this is our third official episode on the new platform with Speak. Thank you so much to those of you who have made the jump.
It's been the listeners, man. The listeners has got us this far. We just want to thank them, man.
Thank you for tweeting. It does mean a lot when you guys retweet our stuff. It's really cool. Don't do less of it, do more of it. Please. We're trying.
Josh Boone, you're out there.
Josh Boone is out there. Brad Dawson is a new big guy that loves tweeting, like giving the show recaps like 6 minutes after. Here's the thing, Brad. We upload the episodes and Brad will tweet like a synopsis of the episode within 6 minutes of being out there. I don't know how you're listening to. You must be listening to it in like 4 times speed.
Oh,
because there's like hour episodes that he's got dialed in within the hour. So good on you, Brad.
I have to tell you something about our show. Someone brought it up. So someone was like, I was at the store and this lady runs up to me. She goes, and I've been teetering if I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, teeter.
But I'm going to say it. She goes, well, my best friend listens to your podcast, you and Jack's, and she looked you up and she found out where you lived. And I was like, okay. And your business is where you work from home, right? And I was like, yeah, okay. Well, aren't you worried about stalkers? Think about it, Jack.
Yeah.
But aren't you the stalker?
The woman who's like feeling out your home security system,
right?
In
I'm not trying to be. I said I don't worry. I got things to handle stalkers. I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, there's much easier people to stalk than Rob Sacre in Spokane.
Yes.
There's famous people who live in residential neighborhoods in Spokane. Rob does not live in a residential neighborhood.
Yeah, I know.
You can see it coming from a long way off.
Absolutely. So, that's what I was trying to explain. But the whole point was, I think it was like, I don't know.
Hey, as long as she likes and subscribes, I love it.
That's what it's all going back to. There's a listener out there that is a huge listener and wants to be our fan. So
yeah. Well, accepted. So it's kind of a bit of a jump, us going from the established platform on Believe now over to Speak. For a number of reasons, we couldn't make it the same avenue. So that's why we're asking you to subscribe the new spot. I know it's confusing. It's weird, but that's just how it goes. Thank you for making the jump. If you think other people would appreciate it, or if you want to play a trick on someone and you think I'm terrible or you think we're terrible, then go ahead and steal their phone when they're not looking and subscribe to it. It'll be a nice little joke. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
We appreciate you guys.
Did you see what Colin Cowherd said about the Zags this week? Rob Sacre.
That we're the number one team in the country?
That the Utah Jazz are the Gonzaga Bulldogs of the NBA, which I don't necessarily disagree with. Here's the thing. It's going to sound negative, but he was pretty much making the argument that, the Jazz have been as successful as any other NBA team over the last 25 years. You know what I mean? Consistently making the playoffs, consistently making playoff runs, but they really have nothing to show for it.
That's okay.
Totally fair. I think it's totally fair.
I can't argue with it, and we're right there. I think we're closer. Yeah, but the Jazz back in the day were knocking on the door for the championship too.
Well, think about it. The Jazz are the number one seed in the West. Do you really think the Jazz are going to win it all?
Dude, I don't know.
You would be shocked.
Are we going to talk about NBA stuff? Because
I don't know.
I'm kind of torn about this NBA stuff, but go ahead.
Why? I do think, Zags were the number one overall seed. A lot of talking head media people had the Zags winning it all.
I don't think Utah is going to win it, but
exactly. But I think a lot of the casual fans around college basketball were like, yeah, Zags are number one overall seed, but they're not going to win it all. And like it or hate it, I mean, that's what ended up happening. So I think it's a fair comparison because I'm not a Jazz fan. I know there's a lot of our listeners who are Jazz fans. So I'm sorry for saying this, but I think there's no way in hell the Jazz win the title. And I hope I'm proved wrong. I really do.
Oh, hold on. I hear somebody.
Oh no.
Alejandro.
No.
Alejandro.
Hey.
Get in the podcast.
Wow.
What is going on?
I can't see.
Oh.
It sounds like Dirty Al.
Little crown.
Dirty Al delivering crown at 10:15 in the morning, folks. Al Hernandez.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Oh, he can't hear me.
Oh man.
Hey Al. What up, dude? Blazers hat. Bold choice. Bold choice.
All right, I'll get out of here.
I love you, brother.
All right,
thank you, man.
Yeah.
I'll see you this weekend, probably.
For sure.
All right, man.
Speaking of stalkers, does that just happen? Former Zag greats just swing by your house and drop off alcohol before noon? What was that about?
That was my birthday.
Oh, okay. When your birthday? Your birthday is Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday. 6/6. Oh, D-Day.
Mm-hmm.
D-Day. Are you gonna drink some Crown right now?
No, it's a little early. I still have to go do some stuff.
Okay.
But I definitely.
Oh, because the Lakers got their asses kicked. That's why you're saying
that was crazy. But I was just going to say, I don't know who's going to win the West, anyways.
Well, I think we've talked about this, right? The changeover from when you were there 3-4 years ago to now is enormous. Like you don't really know, even like the equipment people have changed over a little bit, haven't they?
Dude, the whole league is everybody. Dude, Nash was playing when I was in the league.
Yeah.
Now he's on think about that.
Blow your mind. Yeah.
You know, so it just I think the Nets are going to win it all, so it doesn't really matter.
I do too. And yeah,
what's the line say?
Oh, the Nets are the heavy favorite. Heavy favorite. Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. I think I'm a Suns guy. I might be a Suns guy. Even though I hate to say it, but Devin Booker can fill it up a little bit.
Dude, impressive. I like Donich as well.
Yeah.
Can Gonzaga recruit a Donich? That would be unbelievable.
I don't know. With Tommy Lloyd, without Tommy Lloyd, I don't know. Tommy Lloyd would be the secret there, wouldn't he?
Maybe. Oh man.
You're talking about Luka, right?
Yeah. We recruit a Luka Doncic. That'd be awesome. Could you imagine that?
I don't know. It's always a roll of the dice with your pronunciation of Eastern European players, but that's just how it goes. That's how it goes. Yeah, man. Who knows? Well, by the time people listen to this, I don't know if the Mavericks have moved on from the Clippers, but hey, you're in the future. Don't judge us. We're stuck here in the past.
Yep.
Little bit of Zag news. It looks like Chet Holmgren and Hunter Salas will be competing for a spot on the Team USA under-19 team.
Congratulations, man. It's a great honor to play for your country, man.
They're one of 27 players, I believe, and only 12 players get selected. And I don't know how. I don't even know why they are even trying out. You think Chet has a spot on the team? Maybe Hunter has to battle a little bit.
But it's just it's a thing they want. Scouts are there. It's a thing.
Yeah, you make relationships outside of your school, right? Sure. Your memories of playing for Team Canada on all levels is what? Yeah, he's currently wearing Team Canada.
I started playing for Team Canada when I was 15.
Yeah.
And then I was with them all the way till 25, 26. And then it's been great. I give a lot of respect to all the coaches that helped me through Canada basketball and the guys I've met and some of the experiences I got to see the world because of Canada basketball. That was the coolest thing. I got to go all over Europe and got to play with some great guys, and you get to learn a lot more. Like the last year we should have qualified for the Olympics and we just fell short, losing in the semis to Venezuela. And so that was frustrating, but that team was the best team ever assembled for Canada basketball.
Was Kevin Pangos on the squadron?
No, he was not. I don't know why he couldn't.
Was that a scheduling conflict? Because you'd think he'd get an invite.
I can't remember why he didn't play or try out, or he might have been at tryouts. I can't remember. But it was definitely, it was a stacked team. I think there was 11 NBA players on that team.
Yeah.
Wiggins, Bennett.
Are there any French Canadians at that level of Canadian basketball?
Like a PMAC?
Yeah. Where like there's a real language and cultural barrier?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, those guys don't hoop.
No, the French Canadians, they can all understand us, but we just can't understand them.
Okay, but I guess PMAC was the only one that comes to mind. Is there? There can't be like a strong history. Is there?
There's tons of guys that come out of Montreal. Montreal is a big basketball. Chris Joseph, Maurice Joseph. Chris Joseph went to Syracuse when we were actually at school. We played against each other. That Syracuse team. Chris Joseph was on that Syracuse team. Maurice Joseph was at Michigan State when Adam Morrison in that game on Maui.
Triple overtime.
Yep. So there's some good guys that are coming out of there, and dude, it's crazy to see how many Canadians are just going to the next level.
How is your French?
Parlez-vous français?
The difference between Canadian French and like Cajun French is probably
I would
drastic.
say it's more. I would say it was more similar than those French is closer than
actual France. France
yeah.
is French. Oh,
yeah.
really? So
Yeah.
like people who still speak French down on the bayou, the
See, my
dialect is
grandparents
closer.
spoke French.
That's crazy. That's fast. Louisiana is fascinating.
Dude, my grandparents, when they didn't want the kids to know what they were talking about,
spitting Cajun French.
They would speak hardcore French, and the wild part was it kind of backfired because they didn't teach their kids French because they were speaking French, so they didn't know what they were going to talk about.
So the kids were like not French, able to speak.
But their parents, so my grandparents spoke French my whole life. I knew them. They could speak French. And that's the craziest thing about that. I was like, what? It's just a whole different world, man.
So 32 years. Are you going to buy some 32s at the store? It doesn't High Life come in a 32 ouncer?
Oof. I just got, what's your light beer? We've talked about this multiple times on the show. What's your light beer? If I'm going to like an 18 pack, 32, 30 pack, what's your light beer?
Good question. Maybe this is just because Mayor of Easttown is fresh in my rearview mirror, but Rolling Rock I enjoy.
Dude, no way.
You look disappointed in that.
That one.
I don't know. I don't really love, like, I don't like Coors Light. I don't like Bud Light.
Me either.
Unless, of course,
if I'm drinking something, I'll drink a Michelob.
Yeah. Less calories, pal.
Yeah, I know.
Michelob Ultra.
But I'll just go Bud Heavy.
Yeah. You know what? And I'll apologize to no one for this. If it's between light beer and a seltzer, I'm going like a White Claw all day long.
No.
I've got no problem with a White Claw.
No doubt.
No problems.
Oh, boom. I can't do them though. They make me.
You can't do White Claws?
They make me gassy.
Oh yeah. There is that.
I'm like burping all the time.
Yeah. We can't have you burping.
But you know who doesn't burp and drink? Chris Kaman.
From the corner.
All right, Chris Kaman. This is episode like 105 that Rob and I have done together, and we don't generally like to let people behind the curtain like this, but you were easily a top 5 episode in terms of downloads last summer. And it had zero to do with Gonzaga basketball. And we recorded in like mid-June when the world was completely shut down and there was absolutely nothing going on.
Oh, buddy. That was a rough time for a lot of people.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You look like you're doing good. You're in a brand new man cave in a brand new house in Montana. Where are you?
I'm still in Michigan. I'm actually headed to Montana pretty soon for some fly fishing, but right now just my office is probably the quietest place.
That's your office.
I call it the office. You know how we do it.
Yeah.
It's the office. But I tell honey I got to go to work at the office, but we do I'm in the office just because it's a little quiet spot and my kids aren't running around and I can kind of concentrate a little bit.
How many dead animals are in your office?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Of course you were, Rob. Of course you were. I don't know, man. Why you guys put me on the spot like that?
Well, I see 1, 2, 3. I see 3 mounts behind you. That's 3 elk mounts.
That's all you're going to see. This is my man cave, not everybody else's.
Okay, more or less than a dozen dead animals in your man cave.
Oh, there's probably if I say this, I'm gonna get just butchered, bro. But
Why?
Oh, what are you gonna go to
Why?
jail? What?
No, but people just people. Some
No.
people don't like that. There's people that just don't like
Well,
killing animals.
I will tell you, a lot of our listeners will love it. Yeah, you're right. About
Yeah,
half won't.
there's excess of 70 in here. I mean, if you count the fish, there's probably close to 70.
70
So
animals.
I got more. Yeah, I got other ones, other places too. I have another moose that I'm taking to Montana. There's a lot of stuff anyways. And some stuff I collect that other people have shot in my family or friends or, close relatives. I collect that stuff. Just depends on what it is. I got an alligator, there's a tiger, there's all kinds of different things.
What is your preferable kill?
I like a rifle elk in the rut.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go axe human.
No, yeah, that's my style. Yep. I got another room with all my my other trophies on display. Those are even more private than these.
Oh my!
I imagine, and
Get
listen,
out of here.
listen, I'm a snowflake who lives in San Francisco. Let's just get that out of the way first.
Yes.
But I see people.
Would you consider yourself a Republican or a Democrat?
Me?
Oh, come on, Chris.
I'm
You
definitely-
already
I'm
know the
definitely-
answer to this question.
Well, we don't like to do this a ton, but I think everyone knows I'm definitely left of center.
Okay, but not too hard left, right? Just at least
No. I'm pretty moderate on those things, honestly.
All right.
I'm
So
close.
you're like Biden instead of Harris.
I would be more. See, now I'm uncomfortable. See how you flipped it on
Well,
me?
that's your part. You guys want to make me uncomfortable? I just can't put my back around on you.
I would probably identify more with, just on paper, Biden. Yeah.
Gotcha. No, I don't. I mean, the guy won the vote. Let's let him go. It is what it is. Who knows if it was rigged, fake? Who knows? I mean, there's no way to look at it. It's literally impossible to know one way or the other. So I could care less at this point. He's my president.
Attaboy.
There you go. That is the
Attaboy.
most American thing
Well
you could have
done.
said. Good job,
No,
Chris.
Team
I'm just
player.
saying, obviously, I side more on the right, but at the end of the day, how do you keep Trump in office? You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants that in terms of with all this fake voting, these people crying about it. I'm just I just got to keep moving. I can't stop and have to demand a recount. How does anybody win in that?
All you need to do, Chris, is just save up for your taxes.
That's right. and hey, as long as you know that ahead of time, you should be all right.
Well, you could just sell one of your mooses. That's 12 grand right there. That should take a big chunk out of it.
Well, then it wouldn't be mine. It'd be somebody else owning mine, and they wouldn't pay nowhere near as much.
What do you think about the Republican Party right now? Do you
oh
think?
my God!
I
Where
mean,
are we going with this, Jack?
I wasn't gonna go here, but now that we're here, do you think?
Listen.
Yeah.
I'll be straight with you. I'm not into politics at all.
Okay.
Just not really my thing. I'm not saying I won't talk about it, but I'm just not really into it. I don't understand all the arguing back and forth. Most Republicans are decent. Most liberals are decent. The problem is, in my opinion, this is my humble opinion from my life's experiences, is just that this one party won't get along with the other party just because they're in that party.
Yeah.
Right.
Zero to do with legislation, zero to do with passing laws and any of that stuff. It's just hey, you're right, I hate you because I'm on the left, and you're on the left and I hate you because of that, and I'm on the right. I feel like the majority of the problems stem from you're on the left or you're on the right and I'm opposite of you, so we're gonna fight.
100%. I think
Agreed.
you could get a liberal senator and a conservative senator in a room, and it's just the two of them, and I bet they would get along fine. It's as soon as you get them on Fox News or CNN when they feel like they have to attack the other side.
They're pressured. Yeah.
Yeah.
They feel pressured, yeah.
Somewhere along the line, it turned into the other party is trying to ruin my way of life and my family's way of life. And
Yeah.
instead
there's
of
a lot, there's a lot going on. The whole Black Lives Matter thing is seeing how that plays into effect. This situation with all these police officer shootings, and it's a hard thing to navigate at this point in life. Whether you're on the left or the right. I guess in my opinion, it always makes it a challenge for me, and I don't even know what to think of it. I just want to do what's right, really, to be honest. I think it's hard because I think there's some good programs in place, but I think they get abused. For example, perfect example, the unemployment right now. I own some small businesses, and I can't keep workers and staff because the government's giving them more money than I can pay them on an unemployment wage. Like, how does that make any sense? And like, what did they think was going to happen when they said, oh, you guys don't have to work, just go on unemployment? It was meant as a good thing initially, right? Hey, we want to help these people who are truly unemployed. But then the people are like, oh, I can go make $1,000 a week. So everybody just kind of quits their job. I got my business partner sits in the restaurant and runs the kitchen because there's no workers. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
No incentive to go back to work. There's servers and bartenders in
no, and
the
I guess they're going to give more money now for if you have a certain amount of kids. Like they give you money per kid.
Hell
like
yeah, baby.
My buddy's got 8 kids. I was like, bro, you should just chill.
8 kids?
Yeah, he adopted 5 kids. He's a good dude. He adopted 5 kids. His wife's a go-getter, and he runs one of the Culvers that I own and restaurants. And he's like, I have a hard time finding employees. I said, you got 8 kids, just put a couple of them on staff. You know,
there you go.
Child labor.
And some of them are older, yeah, but it's just hard. I mean, and what do you do? And how do you navigate this? How do you, as a liberal side, you're like, oh, I want to help support some of this socialist stuff, which is, I get it, that's fine. I don't agree with that, but at the same time, the programs are in place to help those people that actually need it. But now what we've done as Americans, because we're greedy, is we've gone out there and we've taken advantage of it, and now people are not working because they make more staying home. But I feel like what happened to America over the last 60 years? Where's your sense of pride? Where's the sense of integrity where you're like, we build things that are better than everybody else? We got so far away from that. And unfortunately, we're in a place right now where everybody's happy to take money from the government and stay home. I don't know what happened, but
I see where you're coming from there. And I would even say it's the last 25 years.
No, I'm saying like basically since World War II, we've just been on a slow downward spiral in terms of manufacturing, in terms of our pride. We had some pride afterwards. We started to build some cool things. There's some good products from 50s, 60s, 70s.
iPhone.
And then it slowly started to just slide. We went over, we manufacture in China now. Well, sure, it's cheaper, but the reality of China is we're all greedy. We want to go over there and make things for cheaper so we can sell it for more money and make more money.
You went to China, right, Chris?
Yeah, I was there with you. You know better.
Did you like the trip in China? Would you go back?
I mean, it's a different way of life they live. It's a socialist country. It's communism. They control. They protect. Protect the people. They tell the people what to do, where to go, what days of the week they can drive on the roads. I mean, it's pretty crazy at certain points, but it's a beautiful place if you go out and me and you, Rob, went to the Great Walls. It was really pretty, and those are the things I look for: the natural things, the mountains, the valleys, the different things that are just spectacular to see. But the city thing is hard because there's just people stacked on top of people, and I almost feel like guilty. Like, what did we do to ourselves? And we're so far from turning back the other way. I know it's not saying, hey, give up, we're not going to keep trying, but it's just hard when all these things that we're trying to do as a nation on one side are being combated by the other side, and then vice versa. Not one is right or one is wrong. Obviously, me and Rob are like more like, hey, you're a liberal, so you're wrong. But I don't really. Well, I mean, that's just the viewpoint of a conservative Republican. But I don't truly believe that. I don't think that people deserve to starve. I don't think people deserve to die because their healthcare system is broken. I think there's got to be something in the middle. But the problem is, how do you stop these people from abusing the programs and the opportunities that they have from the government? It's a challenge.
Chris Kaman for president.
I'm in. Back to your China point a little bit. My parents adopted 3. Not adopted. They had 3 Chinese exchange students.
They stole them. Yeah.
And these were economically well-off kids. They could afford the exchange program to come over and spend a couple of years in America, junior and senior year. And this one kid got like an F. They had to watch some movie and write a quick paper about it and what they thought about it, et cetera. And I guess he just copy and pasted Wikipedia, which is what you do over there. And my dad had to explain to him, no, they want to know what you think about it, what your feelings are towards it.
Like an original idea.
And he was like, why would anyone want to know my feelings on this?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because they don't have those.
It's just
they don't count over there.
This kid was 17 years old and he couldn't rap. He was like, no, I copy and pasted Wikipedia. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to regurgitate information and you go on. It's just a
Yeah,
different
and
way.
here that's almost illegal. You know.
Oh
That's
yeah,
plagiarism.
yeah.
But like everybody there's a lot of countries and they all have their different ways of life. And we have ours, but I feel like there's so many ways to make things work and everybody has a solution, but it's just hard because of the bad, like we talked about in, about 2 minutes ago about, the left hates the right because they're left and the right hates the left because they're right. And because of that, I feel like things can't get done that really would help benefit people in our country.
Is your primary residence still going to be in Michigan?
Yeah, that's where we live.
Okay.
Where we live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about Montana. What's the address?
Yeah, where in
you got?
Montana?
It's by Butte, Montana.
Oh,
that's not terribly far away from Spokane.
The largest Superfund site is in Butte. Just want to let you know.
Is that true?
Yes.
Of course, you would know that too.
That's good. Hey, that's lead contaminated dirt right there, my friend.
I hear you. Hey, what do you got there behind you, Rob, on the wall?
This?
Yeah, no, up there. What is that?
That's 50 greatest players.
Oh, right. Are they all their original real cards, or just like bootleg ones?
No, original cards.
Seriously?
Where's Chris Kaman?
Not on that list.
48.
You played against a couple.
48,000.
You played against Shaq.
Oh yeah, Shaq, Kobe. No, Michael left a year before I did. He got in.
I'm trying to think who other than what was it like guarding Shaq?
You didn't get to guard him?
I never got. He was out right before I got there. He was with the Celtics.
Let me try to think if anybody's. You remember Yao guarding Yao?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't guard Yao.
Never.
No, those two guys were out before I got in. You're older, Chris.
I know I am, but I'm just thinking. I thought there's nobody. I can't even compare him to anybody else other than those two. It's like an immovable object that you only move.
Pekovic. What about Petrovic?
Similar. Pekovic, yeah. Similar like that, but imagine him with 35 or 40 more pounds of weight, muscle.
Yeah.
And then a little bit taller.
Yeah.
And then both of them had way better touch. Pekovic was just so much stronger than everybody else.
He just drop that shoulder
and he would and he would just sink. I forgot about that dude. It was a monster, actually.
He was so strong.
I was like, my gosh, you know who was pretty strong like that was Greg Oden.
Yeah.
But he didn't really didn't get to finish the way he wanted to. I know that, but he was pretty big and he was athletic too. But
he only played like a couple games, but he averaged in his time playing like 18 and 12.
Yeah, and Shaq, he could jump too. You know what I'm saying? Like he had bigger hands than anybody I've ever seen. He could jump. Bro, he just literally one-on-one, he was literally unguardable. There was nobody who could guard him. Like literally. You didn't have a choice. The fact of the matter is you had no choice. You had to double team Shaq.
Oh my!
So you saying
guys would be like, I got him. Like
Reggie Evans.
Like stay home, don't double. And sorry, I just had a phone call come in, but they were like, stay home, don't double, and he would just laugh at you when you say that. He would just like licking his chops, laughing. Bro, honest to God, if he wanted to, he could average 35 in 17 if you really like. He dominated some playoffs, like just dominated.
You say if you
he
wanted
was the most dominant player I've ever seen in my life.
I think the biggest knock on him in his career is that he underachieved rebound wise. Because you saying right now he could jump better than people give him credit for. I'm going to tell
you right now, I will never tell anybody in this world that Shaq underachieved on anything.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, first of all, he's a great dude. But second of all, I think it was so easy for him. Like literally, it was like almost like batting flies, like with it's the simplest thing in the world for him to get the ball and score. Like I think his challenge was how many times can I score over 40? Or stuff like that, or how many times can I get over 20 rebounds? And
he had to make challenges for himself.
Basically. Yeah, because his biggest thing I think was probably conditioning. Because Phil's style was slow down, half court, the triangle, and then other teams, he want to play against the Suns, and they just want to run you. That was their goal. We're going to run Shaq, or teams are going to run Shaq, and like they were smart. Phil was smart. He's just like, nope, we're going to slow it down. And I think Kobe sometimes would want to get out and get ahead of the, push the ball, but Shaq would like get the rebound and he'd dribble it up just to slow the pace down on himself. He would never kick it up sometimes. And so I think that was one of it. And then, he worked his butt off on the free throws. I know he struggled on the free throws, but it wasn't like it wasn't like he wasn't a lack of effort. You know, he put a lot of time into that.
He was just shooting a tennis ball.
I know, it's just his hand was like, it was just like, it looks funny when he shoots it, but it's because his hands literally are like shooting mini balls at the Chuck E. Cheese, you know?
Right.
Who was
and so for me, I think he was literally a one-on-one. He was unguardable. We didn't have a choice. I'd be like, as soon as he tried to get his position, I'd be pushing on him. I'd be like, you guys are coming, right? You guys are coming. You know, like I just wanted to make sure the double team was coming, because if people left you alone, bro, he would punish you. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a more athletic, way bigger hands, way better touch, and way stronger Pekovic.
Right.
on the other end, when you were on offense, was the goal just to get fouls on him, get the foul count up as much as you could?
I mean, he wasn't like he was a bad defender. He was a great help side shot blocker. He took up a lot of space. He was a real long arm, so he could tag somebody. Rob knows what I'm talking about, but he could tag out without really clearing the paint very far. So you didn't have, the middle was not open. Your best thing on offense was just to move a lot. Try to keep moving and setting picks and making.
Well, didn't they create the defensive three because of him?
Well, I mean, it's probably part of the reason, but also because guys would just camp in the paint, and anybody who's doing a pick and roll and try to dive to the hoop, there'd be a guy waiting there for him, and you can never. It slowed play down. It jammed up the middle and slowed play down. And now, like how the NBA is now, everybody wants this pace, this turning, high scoring, offensive, 150-point games because they want action. But a lot of the basketball, the slowdown stuff is out. The half court stuff.
Oh, I was gonna ask you because I know how you feel already about it, and I try to be. You and
me both, because we're both back to the basket guys more than face up guys.
And I try to be optimistic and watch the games. I love basketball. You love basketball, but I find basketball is kind of boring now in a certain way.
I guess for me, what I would say to that is, like, I watch a guy who's really good at posting up, Joel Embiid, and he doesn't even really post up anymore.
Well, I just find like
taking people off the dribble, and it's not his fault. It's just the way the game goes, and it's what's favorable right now, and it's how you get more calls, and it's how you're successful now. And will there be a point in time in the next 5 to 10 where it gets old and the game starts to turn back the other way? I don't know. I think you need
a Joel Embiid or
you need 4 or 5. You need 4 or 5 guys who can post up really efficiently and dominate,
right,
to force people to play that same way to try to stay with you. Or, I mean, you see the D'Antoni style. You lived it, but the up and down, it doesn't win, though. You know what I'm saying? Without defense, it doesn't win. The up and down with no defense just doesn't work.
Right. No,
I mean,
I find it boring in the sense that you come down, you watch, it's a pick and roll, and then someone's shooting a 3 at the end of the.
There's so many, bro. Think of all I was watching the Blazers the other day. Think of all the on-ball screens they set. Like, It's crazy. There's a screen, then they flip it and set another screen, flip it, set another screen. They run down, pick a guy, he comes up, sets a screen. It's just like ball screen after ball. All they're trying to do is get these guys like Damian and CJ loose so they can shoot with a little more space.
Right.
See, you guys are complaining. I love that. I love what
it's just as a big.
It's because I'm a liberal. That's right.
Yeah.
Hate defense.
Well, as a big, you're just constantly just running. Like, you sprint down.
Bigs, there's not the big, huge bigs. They're
gone.
Non-existent. It's these 6'10" to 7 foot, super athletic, long arms run like a deer type players who can shoot the ball even and finish at the rim. I mean, look at some of these guys, the way that they can move and play. It's pretty amazing, actually. The skill level has gone way up, and I think that's why you see more people shooting. And like percentage-wise, a 3-pointer with your toes in line is the worst play in basketball, right? I mean, because it's so far and you're only getting 2 for it. Obviously, free throws and layups are the next. Those are the most highest percentage plays. So what they're trying to do is create these, and people shoot the ball so much better than they used to, And so
you're not. It's just a different. It's not a standstill like 2 posts in the paint. Like guys have to be wide open because guys are wide open in the corner, ready to shoot.
If not, James Harden has a layup, right? You
Correct.
have to help. If Kevin Durant has an ISO, you have to help. I mean, look at how they double team some of these guys. I mean, and the game is changed in the fact that the foul calls are so soft that a guy can't go, bro. when I played against Karl Malone, you could go down the middle and you could get clobbered, and you'd be lucky if you got a call.
Right.
Like literally just destroyed. But now you can't touch anybody, and it's like, and I understand the game and the there's money behind this, right? There's big money behind this, and so there's a reason that these superstars are superstars, not just because they're really good, but also because it pays the NBA to have these players that people want to be like, and people want to buy their shoes and their clothes and whatever else they're selling. So it makes sense, and I'm not mad about it because I was able to make a lot of money off of some of these superstars, off of guys like Kobe and Shaq and Tim Duncan being so good at what they're doing. It helps me have a league so that I can make money, and you have a league so you can sit there and make money. And we both experienced sitting and playing, and obviously playing is a lot better. But what's wrong with someone's got to be the 12th man? Someone's got to be the guy that's supporting his team and waving his towel and clapping and giving guys five when they come out of the game. Not everybody can be the superstar. So I'm happy to be sometimes. I wouldn't say I was happy, but I understand the position of being that 12th man. Hey, I'm still getting paid on the 1st and 15th like everybody else,
and I'm
still
getting paid
really good.
I'm getting paid good money too.
I mean, I'll just tell you guys something about Rob. Like, Rob would sit there and not play a lot for the Lakers, but he was the best cheerleader ever. And I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but Rob was really good at basketball, like really good at basketball. And you would think a guy as good as Rob would find a place to play. But that's just how the NBA is. It's like you see these guys, oh, he's a bum. Well, I'm going to tell you something. There's 450 players in the NBA in the world, and not a single one of them is a bum. So everybody realizes what's going on. Like, oh, that guy doesn't play. He never plays. He's not a bum. He's really, really good at basketball, like better than 99.9% of the rest of the world. But it's just he doesn't fit that mold. It doesn't fit.
I was going to say it's part of it. I also think is luck in a way of like in the draft. You get drafted, you might get drafted by a coach that doesn't like you, but the organization loves you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I played in an All-Star game, and I'm not trying to toot my horn, in 2010 in Dallas, and I was pretty good at basketball. I started, 90% of my career till my last year, and then the year with the Lakers with you. I started most of my career. I was pretty successful, and I went to teams from one team where I started and played 37 minutes to play in the All-Star game, to the next year playing 5 minutes for a different coach who didn't understand my game, didn't know how to put me in places to be successful. So it's just different. Every coach you get can have a huge impact or a small impact on your career. And if you get the right situation, I mean, the sky's
you're about to make a lot of money if you get
because like I just said, like even you, like I know people will think, oh, he's not that good. What people don't know is Rob is really good. He's really talented at all types. He can shoot, he can post up, he can face up, but people wouldn't know it because the coaches had, or perfect example, they might draft a guy at 6th pick. Well, he's going to play over Rob because Rob was not the 6th pick. Right. And if they draft another guy the next year, Rob just keeps sliding down the scale. And not because Rob's not good, because Rob is not a 6th pick and they don't want to see what Rob has to offer compared to this early draft pick. Because we picked him at 6. We're paying him $3 or $4 million and Rob $1 million. So we better play him. There's so much to it that people just don't understand. And the good guys are really good, no doubt. There's no question about that. They're really good. They help the league progress in many ways, more than just basketball. But the guys that are on the bench, them guys are really good too. And it's just a fact of, does the coach like you? Does he give you opportunities? How do you do? Another thing is hard is when you haven't played, like me and Rob know, we sat there for 20 games and we didn't play. And then D'Antoni's like, yep, Chris, Rob, get in there.
Get that rhythm back.
And when you don't play for 20 games or 10 games, even 5 games, the speed of the game, the pace is going so fast, it's hard to get comfortable in 5 minutes. Or they throw you in at the end, the last 3 minutes, and they want to see you get like 6 points, 3 rebounds, and a block shot. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I just been sitting cold the whole game, and now you want me to just I'm 32 years old. You want me to jump up and be like, yep, good to go, coach, get me in there. It's not that easy. So these young guys you see just get chucked in at the end. They're trying, man, but they'll come in and whiff a couple, and it's hard. It's a hard thing.
Well, but here's the thing now also with the league, and I think you can attest to it, is I think there is no middle class anymore.
No.
So with the 12th man now, that door is changing. So
that 12th man is as good as that 5th, 8th to 8th man.
100%.
And he's coming. And listen, and these young guys now, I saw that towards the end of my career. These young guys are coming. they're coming for that playing time. They're coming for your spot. And unless you have a coach, like I had some good coaches and had some bad coaches, and they weren't bad coaches. They just didn't fit with me. They weren't bad people or anything, but they just didn't mesh with me. And if they trust you and they know you, like I had a coach, the same coach for 7 years, and he knew what I was capable of and how good I was. And so he decided, hey, I'm rolling with Chris. And you'll see these guys. Remember when D'Antoni was rolling with Sean Williams, and he wasn't necessarily a bad player. We talked about this. He's not a bad player.
No, that was his style of play. That was his style of play.
And that was his style,
D'Antoni.
exactly. And so that coach loved Sean Williams' style because he was a mobile 3-4, and he could guard a little bit, and he could pick the ball on the floor a little bit. And when he had him in New York, he shot the ball really well. When he was with the Lakers, he just wasn't shooting that well. But he was like, that's my guy. I'm still rolling with him. And as frustrating as it was for me, knowing what I was capable of watching this guy shoot and not make shots and struggle, I was like, well, put me in. I'm not struggling. And remember, he let me loose at the end of the year, and I played pretty well. But, like, it's hard pill to swallow sometimes when a coach doesn't appreciate what you do. And it's not like you're Rob Sacre, the 12th man. You're like, I need a trade. I'm going to go somewhere and play because you don't have a reputation. Well, you don't have a reputation of being good at anything because you've never gotten a chance. And so sometimes that's how it is. And you're just living that down, trying to figure out, what do I do now? Do I ask for a trade and look like an arrogant jerk? Or do I just keep playing and hopefully somebody, this sounds terrible, but hopefully somebody gets hurt and not too bad, but enough where I get a chance to show what I'm capable of. Like and
people don't get to see that a lot because it becomes that way where you don't want people to you don't want to sabotage or have someone get hurt or something like that, but you also need that opportunity.
You want your chance.
Yeah.
But how much is it political? Like, okay, Rob has to sit at the end of the bench and be a good boy and you'd wait for his playing time. But then I have to imagine a lot of it is maybe someone in the Lakers coaching staff goes somewhere else, or someone in the front office goes somewhere else. And they're like, who would be nice in this locker room is like,
that's
Rob.
Absolutely. That's 100% how that would
You'll see 5 or 6 guys a year swapping teams around, and you're like, how does this guy stay in the league? And it's because he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he's good in the locker room. He brings chemistry and brings guys together, and he's good with young guys. And he's known for that, right?
Udonis Haslem.
Yeah. And they just want a guy who's an ambassador at that point, and they're willing to pay him the league minimum for a veteran, because I don't know, people don't know this either, but the league minimum for a veteran, whatever the money is, the NBA pays one half and the team pays the other half. So if it's $2 million, it's only costing the team $1 million. And so, those veteran minimums are nice because you can get a guy who still wants to keep playing, bouncing around, wants to help a team win in any way he can. And it works well because he's a good locker room guy. And so for Rob to sit at the end of the bench as a young guy and be a cancer, that would be a bad move. Wouldn't last long.
Yeah.
Right. But for Rob to come out with his towel and they show the freaking guy on ESPN as a cheerleader, the best cheerleader on the team, like that just boosts Rob's persona and all these other NBA general managers' eyes and these other coaches. Hey, we want a guy who cares about his teammates and cares about the team. You see a lot of guys are selfish and they'll just stay sitting down and they don't care about their teammates because they aren't playing. But when you get a guy like, there's other guys that were just like Rob, but not a lot, but you got to buy into that. And even if it's fake, if you want to make money and you want to play later on, you got to buy into it. You got to do
50% of success is looking like you belong there.
That's right. Maybe even 60 for you, buddy.
Speaking of making money, Chris, you mentioned something that blew my mind. I thought you guys made game checks in the league. Is it you get paid on the 1st and the 15th?
No, okay. So it's a 100% guaranteed contract, and then you get paid, 1st and 15th is traditional. And then, or you can do it how you want. You can do it every 3 months, every 6 months, every 9 months, every 12 months. I remember the first day of camp, Kobe said he got a check for like $22 million and he made 24 that year. I mean, so everybody's different, right? Players that are better have more leverage than players that aren't as good, right? Look at Carmelo Anthony's deal, what he had with the Knicks. He had a no trade clause. That's a really rare thing to have. And so he controlled his trade. He could say no to any trade he wanted to. That's what took him so long to move him. They would have moved him day 2, But he had to find a thing that he wanted to go to that fit and worked for both teams. So the Blazers ended up being the fit,
In your career,
there's all kinds of ways to get paid.
In your career, did you prefer 1st and 15th, like 12 months out of the year?
Yeah, because it helped, for me with a young guy, my first financial guy was like, it'll be easier for you to stay on track paying your bills on certain days to have. And so, so the Clippers were nice enough to help me out with an initial like $300,000 so I could put a deposit down on a house. And then I ended up buying a house in Redondo Beach, California. And that was really nice of them so that I could do that. And then after that, it was 1st and 15th. And that's how I did all my pays.
Wow. What were you, Rob? Game check guy?
Yeah, I was just 1st and 15th, man. You gotta be able to budget. You got to be able to budget. If you get that money all in one blow,
you spend it.
You'll spend it like crazy.
I don't care how grounded you are as a 22-year-old. If you get a check with well over 7 figures on it, like that, you're going to change a little bit. You're going to change a little bit.
Jack, you'd be surprised at how many players, if they did. So the NBA kind of, about, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, they kind of got embarrassed real bad because a lot of their players were like
going
broke.
Yeah.
And they're like, forget this. So they hired all these people to come in and explain the money and explain how it worked and explain what to do. They have checks and balances now, like to make sure people aren't taking advantage of people. So they're no longer, the days are over where these guys are going broke. Now these guys are buying portions of professional teams, and like these guys have money, like big money, and they know how to come together and put their money together and do these private equity deals and private investment deals. And so those days are over. So these guys now, you give them the money and they know what to do with it. But before they didn't. So that's why they try to do that 1st and 15th. But nowadays guys take 50, 30, $60 million and they'll be fine.
Did you have a teammate who on paper was making a ton of money and you realized after talking to him?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to say any names. I played with the guy.
Okay.
Because it's obviously I don't want to embarrass.
That's fine.
But I'm just as guilty as the next guy. I mean, like I'll spend money on stuff that's not necessary.
I'm still waiting for my Jordans from you.
I'm waiting for you to come get them. I got 100 pairs of them.
I know. You've been saying that. What do you want to need to pay the shipping cost?
No, you need to come over here with a trailer and you can get them.
That's not a problem for me. I will be there.
Okay.
I don't want you to name names, but I'm talking about.
I know what you're saying, but what I was going to say about that is I won't put any names because it would be embarrassing. But like I was just saying myself, I'm guilty of times I'll go spend money and I'll be like, man, what did I do that for? But it's because you can, right? Mm. And unless you're grounded and you have some good sense of responsibility with economics and investments, you're going to have a hard time knowing what to do with your money. So this guy I played with them for 1 year. And at the end of the year, we had the playoff bonuses. And I tried to talk all the teammates of mine, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here again. This is just the situation. And to giving our money back, to give to like the staff, to the training.
That's usually what happens,
Right. That's like a traditional thing. But this team had never done that. And so I was trying to help facilitate that. And this guy I played with, like I got like 8 or 9 guys to give their full shares back. It was like $30,000 each. And it was first round share. And this guy was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I can't give my full share. I was like, well, how about like $5,000 or something? No, I'm not going to give anything. I'm like, bro, you're making, I'm not going to say how much, but multiple millions of dollars, because you can really narrow it down if I do that. Yeah. But multiple millions of dollars, and you're not going to give us any money for these people that are helping you all year with massages and equipment and taping your ankles and whatever else, lifting weights. You're not going to help these guys out there making $60,000, $80,000 a year. You're not going to. I remember masseuse made $15 an hour. I'm like, you're not going to help her out. Mm-hmm. Like, what's going on? And so he was like, no, I'm good. And everybody just thought he was the biggest jerk. Between us, I liked him, but between us, people had that perception of him because they didn't.
Well, it's a bad look. It's a really bad look. It's like pennies.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, come to find out, though, I had a meeting with the general manager when I left for the summer to go home. You do an exit interview every year. And that summer, we had an exit. I said, hey, what's going on with so-and-so? He didn't want to help out with the playoff shares at all. And he said, oh, he's got himself in some financial trouble. He's actually owes more than what he has currently available. And the guy had already made like $60 million, and he owed about $5 million to Vegas.
To Vegas?
Oh, yes. No.
Yes. So every dime he was making going forward was already gone.
Oh.
I mean, this is a big problem. A lot of these guys, they have a gambling problem too, And listen, I mean, I'm just as bad. I got my own problems. I buy so many stinking things that I shouldn't be buying, but like I started with a better base and foundation. Instead of starting off with Vegas, I started off with investments, and I've worked my way. And it doesn't mean I couldn't go broke. I'm sure at some point you could go broke too. You just don't know. Like things happen, you get sued, whatever. There's people take advantage of you. There's all kinds of things. So I'm not tooting my horn, like, oh, I have so much money and I'm the richest, because I'm not. I don't have a lot of money, but I've done well enough for myself to afford myself a good life and my kids a good future. And for me to see guys like that, it's sad, because this guy had almost made $60 million and he was broke and owed about $4.5 million to Vegas.
How old was he? Like midway through his career or towards the end, or what?
Jack, why are you doing that to me?
I'm just trying to get an idea. Was he? I'm guessing he was 28.
He was
28?
probably, I bet he was
29?
60%, 60 to 70% done with his career.
Okay, and well, fortunately, at that point, the NBA was set up that you pay the players at the end of their career handsomely, because you kind of pay them for what they did. Well, I mean, I look at Kobe. They were paying Kobe for what he did.
Yeah, but that's a different animal.
Okay.
Well, first of all, you just put a terrible analogy in there. I can tell you live in San Francisco. You put a terrible. I mean, you're talking about one of the best, probably the second best player in the world ever. So the guy, I thought the guy was underpaid every year of his career.
He was underpaid he was underpaid for sure.
Every year to me, he was underpaid. You took anybody you brought in there, Kobe made him better. Like, he's one of those special players, Steve Nash, Damian Lillard. You bring these guys, Chris Paul. As much as I don't like Chris Paul, we haven't got along over the years. The guy is an amazing basketball player and knows how to win. I mean, look at his career for playoffs. Look at his record for playoffs. As far as how many years he's made the playoffs, it's like Tim Duncan. He made the playoffs every single year of his career. Not one year did he miss. That's unheard of, dude, man. Yeah, it's crazy.
Tim Duncan
Kobe was one of those special players. He was making. So the Lakers got like a $2 or $3 billion TV deal, and I thought Kobe should have got like 10% of that, or at least, or something, But they wouldn't allow that to happen that way. Like, there's those unique players that do that much for their team, and he was only able to make $24 million. I mean, and I know it sounds like, oh, I'm crying about it, but it's not my money. I don't care. But I just thought he was underpaid. Really, wasn't he making $30 million his last year?
My rookie year, he was making. I want to say he made 30 my rookie year.
No,
he made 30 1 year.
No,
he made 30.
Bro, the salary until they stopped this. So they did a thing called smoothing. So they stick the salary cap. They got all this money from the TV deal, $24 billion TV deal, right? And the salary cap could have went like this. It could have went like this. Instead, they want to try to smooth it out. They're trying to take all that money and they're trying to spread it out over 15, 20 years on the cap. The players voted no, so it went like that. And then every team had one player who could make 33% of the cap.
Right.
And that's like James Harden making the $50 million, Damian Lillard make whatever them guys are making exactly. I don't know, but like that's like Westbrook's deal, the 40, Chris Paul's deal, the 40. That's those one guys. And so Kobe, I don't think he got to I think that the last 2 or 3 years of his career, he can make a lot, but I want to say maybe he did when you were younger. But
I got it right here. 2012, 2013. 2012, 2013, he made $30 million, a little over $30 million with incentives.
Was that your first year, Rob?
Yep.
2013, 2014, 33.5 million. And then he took a little dip. 2014, 2015, a little dip. 25 million his second to last year, and then his final year.
Well, I wonder why he went down. You know what? Did he take less to try to get more players in there?
Well, no, it was he took less money for he's still 25 million. They wanted to give him money as thank you. Because at that point,
that's what I'm saying. It was a career achievement.
He was still hurt, man. He remember your year was that year where
Achilles.
He had the Achilles, and then he broke his leg the next year. So they didn't know what he was going to be like the following 2 years.
I know, but it's still Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, and that's why they paid him 25, 27?
25. Because I remember reading about it because he was only getting 25, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. But I didn't remember making that 30 when you were.
Powell it was him and Powell were making close to 60 mil, but I ain't counting pockets.
In defense of my analogy, my point is that's an American thing to do. Whereas in Europe, like look at the legendary soccer players who once they're over like 35, 36, see ya, and they come and play in
but see, that's
MLS.
That's the thing but Jack, that's the thing in the NBA. It's just some teams, look at Dallas, look at the Lakers, look at the Spurs.
Selling jerseys, selling tickets. Yeah.
No, more than that. Some teams have loyalty. They have respect for these guys that have, like, look at Dirk. I don't know, 22 years, 21 years, same team. Cuba knew what he was doing. The guy won a title with him, right? So you don't trash a player like that. Like, oh yeah, you're old. Wait for that player. You wait for that player to have he's an upstanding enough person to say, you know what? Hey, I'm getting older. I know I'm sliding. I'm struggling. I'm hurting the team. So I'm going to retire next year. Give me one more good year, best I can do. His last year, Dirk started the game, started the second half, played 6, 7, 8 minutes, and then maybe the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game if he was feeling right and they needed him. But he didn't care. He was just like on a tour of like, kind of, I'm going out, I'm going away, and this is what I'm doing. And they respected him and let him stay the whole time and paid him what he was owed. And I think they did the same thing with Kobe and the same thing with Tim Duncan. But then there's these other teams. They don't care. They're just cutthroat owners. They could care less.
That's the problem. The loyalty in the NBA on both sides, players and organizations are gone. It's gone.
Well, this jumping ship to go win somewhere else, I can't get behind it.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. I mean, there was so many years of the Clippers I was really good at basketball. I wasn't, Kobe, LeBron, nothing like that, but I was all right. And I was like, I was a starting center, and I was like, should I just leave and go somewhere else? No. I was like, I'm going to build what we got here, and I'm going to keep trying to get players in and try to win here. I wasn't like, let me just run over here.
Because the Clippers were loyal to you too.
Well, tell some things changed around. Yeah.
Well, exactly.
While Mike Dunleavy was there, they were. Yeah.
Hey, does Mike Dunleavy?
And then they started switching players.
I think I saw Mike Dunleavy out in San Francisco on Friday night. Does he live in the city? Does he live in the Bay Area?
Well,
I mean, Junior, not Junior, like the Mike Dunleavy Jr. I'm talking about, obviously.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I haven't talked to his dad. Seniors who I know Junior, but like just from playing, but I know his dad real well. He was coaching at Tulane, and I think he got let go. I'm not sure where he's at now.
Anyway, I've wanted to ask this question for about 45 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
Here's a lull. No. I'm not complaining at all. And this question goes to both of you. I don't know if I've ever asked Rob this. Smelliest big you played against in your career? Just a smelly dude that you were leading. I'm sure there's a number of them. And because guys have different
sometimes me in practice, Jack.
No, there's some of those European guys that were just unbelievable. I got 2. It was either Jake Sokolides or Peja Drobniak.
Really?
Not Dirk? Did Dirk clean it up a little bit?
Dirk. He's
German. I mean, he's Eastern Europe. You got to worry.
It's not freaking Russia. It's not the Soviet Eastern Bloc. I mean, they have. I don't know. I think those 2 guys were pretty bad for me. Who do you got, Rob?
Oh, I can't think. I have to say myself in practice one time was so bad.
Hey, Jack, you see how Rob got his political answer out there? He didn't want to throw anybody on the bus.
No, but I know Rob. I know Rob well enough that like next week he'll have the perfect answer and he'll say it, but the moment's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I kept mine to Europeans because I'll never see them again.
Chris Kaman for president.
Hey, you know what?
2024, Chris Kaman. I will vote libertarian.
Hey, did Zaza Pachulia stink?
Zaza? I can't. He just bothered me. I don't know.
Me too. Trust me.
How so?
I don't know.
He's always trying to he's taking all these little cheap shots.
Yes.
He's always trying to take this little undercut. He's trying to flip you. He
just do little things.
I feel like he learned when he was young, any leverage he could get, he would use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it didn't matter. If he just elbow you or stab you in the side, whatever it was, that would be what he would do. That would be what he would do.
And he would just, it wasn't, he was just a nuisance. He was just a nuisance. It wasn't.
He was pretty solid though. Actually, he was pretty talented. He did a lot of good things.
No, he did what he needed. Didn't he win a chip with
I think he did with Warriors. Yeah. He kind of got fortunate. They're hey, we need a big, and he was available. It's hey, why don't you call me?
Yeah, I think they got rid of Anderson Varejao and picked up Zaza.
That's what they did.
Chris warned me.
To Cleveland.
Anderson Varejao got the shit end of the stick because he was on Cleveland for a couple of losses to Golden State. Then he jumped ship to Golden State and lost.
Yeah, but you're not thinking straight. Nobody got the short end of the stick. These people wouldn't make millions of dollars. Who cares?
No, but Anderson Varejao, Chris warned me when we played. I think it was the lay down game. Game.
Oh, Rob, let's not title it that, please.
The lay down or the foul game, whatever you want to call it.
That was the craziest. Dude, somebody tried to interview me about that. I'm like, I don't really got much to say, but it was the craziest. I think that was probably my craziest game I've ever been a part of.
Oh, 100%. It was the wildest thing I'd ever seen.
Jack, there's no players left, and me and Rob foul out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that means they have 4 players. So then I guess I didn't know this, but you get to pick who you want to keep in there. Then every foul he makes after that's like a technical and a free throw.
Oh, what a rule.
Yeah, but no one ever got to the rule because no one ever has 5 players available. Most people have 10 to 12.
It's called the Sacre rule now.
The Sacre rule. Is that what they're calling that?
I heard that the other day. It's called the Sacre rule.
That would be kind of cool.
No, but you warned me when we played that game. You go, Varejao, man. Just the dude never stands. He's always moving. Always moving. You're never
all day, Andy. That dude, he can run all day, bro. And he flops too, so you just never know. Like if you hit him too hard, he's going down like a sack of bricks. Like he just.
That's soccer mentality.
He was always a challenge because he played he was one of them guys that just played hard the whole game, and I respect that. But like, that's just not my style, you know.
Did the South American players smell? Him and Manu?
No, not typically. No, typically not. No. French players and Eastern Europeans.
You're French for sure. For sure.
Who smelled the best that you were like, you wanted to compliment them after the game?
That seems a little bit over the top of a question.
That's a San Fran.
Top rope. Hey, if I'm gonna be negative, I got to be positive.
That's a liberal. That's a liberal question. I won't answer that.
All right.
I won't answer that because I'm hard right, and I don't like left.
Yeah, you don't like talking positive about people.
Oh
no, that's right. I'm super negative.
Chris Kaman.
That smell. I don't know that anybody like smelled like so good. It doesn't stick out to me, to be honest. Just to
that cocoa butter.
Oh my gosh, did you smell how good he was? That would be something that someone would slap you for saying.
What about a teammate with the craziest like hygiene routine at the end of the game? Because I know Rob and I have talked about this. Women's deodorant is big in the NBA.
What?
Isn't that true, Rob?
I didn't say. I said Dove. I said Dove.
Oh, Dove, because that's what that's like the universal. It doesn't have like a lot of fragrance, and it doesn't have like a lot of
the Dove white stick.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a simple, and then the trainer or the equipment guys will just buy like cases of it, you know.
Yep. Right. But you were an Axe guy, right, Chris?
No, I was not.
He was a musk, a good old dough musk.
No, one time
aftershave.
I think I used what's the other one? It's a red one.
Old Spice?
Old Spice.
Yeah.
And it burns your armpits.
Okay, no. It only burns your armpits if you're switching from another deodorant.
Yep.
If you're going from the powder to the gel, you're gonna be
don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. Oh, I could not stand the gel. It's if you feel like you like, I don't even know how to describe it. You feel like you move your arm, you're like, that's not right, you know. The gel, like what the heck?
Last year you said there was.
Hold on, Jack. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to the gel for a second.
Okay.
Why would they make the gel? It just gets your shirt all wet and stick. It's just stupid. Like,
well, there's pros and cons. I think the powder. See, I got the
give
powder
me one pro. Give me one. Okay, that's fine. But give me one pro to the gel.
I do different strokes for different folks, man. People have
no, but that's not. You didn't give me a pro. You just said a stupid line.
Okay. Here's a pro. I don't know if this affects you guys, but whenever I wear like a darker shirt, any shirt that's not white, and I put on the white powder,
you get the white powder in your
armpits. On my shirt, and even like no matter how hard I try, what's up?
So how do you figure that the gel will make your shirt wet?
No, but you don't get the powder streaks on the bottom of your shirt.
True.
You know what I'm talking about?
But you got to deal with a sticky like you just went down south and got all sticky under your arm.
Well, we need a pro gel. I feel like this is unfair. We need a pro gel person.
I think you want to know what's good is someone who knows deodorants. We got to get them on one of these shows.
We're looking for a Scientologist.
We're looking for a Scientologist, an alien guy, and a ghost expert.
Ghost expert.
Are you a ghost guy?
We're looking for those 3 people right now.
Scientologists. I feel like Scientology is kind of, isn't that have to do with aliens? Don't they think that we came from aliens or something like that?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Correct.
And what's this ghost business? But hey, let's go back to the deodorant for a quick second because I want to point out I'm not trying to market anybody, but I use this one called Tom's. And
I know Tom's.
That's the old man like
Tom. No, Tom's is like
Tom's.
Tom's is expensive.
It's just called Tom's, and they don't put any aluminum in it. That's why I like it.
Yeah, it's big in the hippie community. Look at you.
Oh, thank you.
I live in Haight-Ashbury, like hippie ground zero. So Chris, you have a lot in common with my people.
Well,
here.
I just like it because there's no aluminum.
Yeah.
And then I just do the
earth.
deodorant one. Yeah, I just want to be as much as I can to like take care of the earth,
All right. Have you ever seen a ghost, Chris Kaman?
I don't think so. I mean,
Isn't there?
I see things happen sometimes, not a lot, but like in my life, I've seen a couple things happen where you're like, gosh, that don't make any sense. But like, I've never seen like a ghost. I don't believe in ghosts are real. I think there's like spirits out there, but I don't think you're able to see them. But maybe some people are allowed to see them. I don't know.
Isn't there that legendary hotel in Oklahoma City that's haunted?
That and
the Skirving
and
yeah,
we
stay there. And we stay there, but you don't want, and the Pfister too. Yeah, in Milwaukee, you don't want to go to the top floor. I guess the owner left his wife or his girlfriend who was pregnant in the top floor of the Skirving, and then she like jumped out or threw the baby. I don't know the whole story, but it's something crazy. So that a lot of NBA players have said they've heard like voices and stuff in their rooms.
This is the Oklahoma City one?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's up with the Milwaukee?
The Pfister?
The Pfister, they just say it's haunted. I never had any problems with it.
Okay. Because I'm not a ghost
Lou Will
guy.
refuses to stay there.
Who does?
Lou Will. He would go and pay for another hotel somewhere.
Really?
In Milwaukee. He couldn't do it.
What is it? Why do NBA teams stay at the same hotels? There's got to be some kind of
they just know. They know what you want.
The
it's easy. They understand.
They know the security part of it's easy. They know the operations is easy. They know the chefs are easy. The front desk works with you. Like, it's just a thing they do. Plus, there's in the collective bargaining agreement. Excuse me. There's tracks. You have to stay at certain places.
Yeah.
Back when the Warriors were in Oakland, teams would stay in downtown San Francisco, which I always thought was inconvenient to say the least.
Where in Oakland should we stay, Jack?
Well, okay, fair question.
I'll answer that, Jack. I'll answer that for you. Nowhere.
But I always, because you see NBA teams loading on the bus in downtown San Francisco, then you got to get on the Bay Bridge, which is a pain in the ass, and then coming home's got to be a pain in the ass. It just feels inconvenient. But I guess
you're not. As soon as
to be honest, the Warriors setup was one of the most unbelievable, horrible things because most teams want to stay in San Fran because of that fact, because there's not a lot going on in Oakland as far as hotels go.
Yeah.
And so they then, like you said, driving across that bridge, loading up, shoot arounds, coming back. It's just a nightmare. I mean, it's stupid.
It's hard to do in like a little sedan. I can't imagine how tough it would be in like two giant buses just going across the bridge and back and forth. Chris,
I always wanted to go to Alcatraz, but I never got to go there.
You never been? You know what? I've never been.
No,
there you go. You two can go together. You two can go together.
What's your stance on The Rock?
Oh, come on.
The Rock, the movie, The Rock.
The movie.
Sean Connery. You mean with the prison escape guy?
Yeah, Sean Connery. R.I.P., pal.
Yeah, R.I.P. He was like almost 100, right? He was like 90 something.
Yeah, he had a great run. Hell of a run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. If you give me to 70, I'm like, thank you. Good to go.
Lord. Yeah. Start doing heroin at that point. More heroin, I should say.
Oh yeah.
Last year when we had you on, you said there was one all-star big out of the West you said was severely overrated for his career, and you wouldn't tell us who it was. Have you had a change of heart?
Still won't tell you. Won't tell you.
Okay. Rob, do you know who it is?
No clue. No.
Because when LaMarcus Aldridge retired, I was like, I wonder if Chris Kaman was talking about LaMarcus.
I got it.
No, LaMarcus Aldridge was a beast.
He was unbelievable. He should have never left Portland.
I know, and I was there when he was there the first year, and I played with him. The dude is legit, like one of the best post-up backs to the basket.
He's unbelievable. He should have never left Portland.
Was it Karl Malone?
On that floor, like unbelievable, bro. Like he's unbelievable.
Was it Karl Malone? I don't know if that's just your reaction or the internet.
People you're asking are like legit, like superstars.
Well, you said all-star in the West during your career. There's only like 30.
Yeah, I know. So that's why we're going to leave it how it is.
Okay. Fair enough.
Jack, me and you can talk after the show, and I'll let you know who it is.
Oh, that would be awesome. I can't wait to hit and record here. All right. Final question. Your stance on aliens. You know about later this month, the Pentagon has to present to the Senate everything they know about aliens.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel okay. So if they're real, why don't we see more of them? Why is everything that we hear about and see about hidden? Like, why wouldn't a human being find one and like take a bunch of pictures and quick throw it up on the internet in the last 10 years?
Give it 2 weeks, pal. We're gonna hear
They're
why.
Smarter than us.
Give it 2 weeks.
No, they're smarter than us. Rob, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm with Rob 100%. I think Rob and I are on the right side of history here.
Wait, so you think their aliens are real?
Yeah,
they're smarter than us,
yes.
And they let us have their aircraft in Area 51. They let us have that.
Yeah.
And then they let us have all that, and they let us have whatever we need to have, pictures and videos of them. But yet they're so smart that we can't see them ever.
Yeah.
But they let us have all that stuff.
Because we're not a threat to them. We're not a threat to them. Our best technology, they like sneeze at. You know, it's not like we're gonna ruin their way of life. Yeah. We're just like we're ants in an ant farm, baby.
So then why wouldn't they let us see them? What's the problem?
Oh,
maybe,
I think
we are too dumb for us to handle that.
Yes, they don't want. Yeah, they don't want us to try to wrap our arms around it, but they have screwed up here and there and given us some evidence. So now we're like trying to figure it out.
Really?
I'm an alien. I'm a pro alien guy.
I don't know. I mean, I see that there's the video of flying things. Do I know exactly what they are or what's in them? I don't know. I'd like to think that there's something else, but I just, in my mind, it's like Sasquatch, right? Like everybody thinks Sasquatch is real, and I'm torn by it. Mostly not torn, but a little bit torn. But because you would think some hunter would have shot one of those by now, or someone would have a better video than the ones we have by now.
Yeah. See, I'm out on Bigfoot. I don't believe. Not a believer.
Yeah, I don't either, because at this point, we have the technological advancements we've made in the last 20 years. There would be something about aliens that you have a physical picture. An alien would have, if they crash land over here, why wouldn't they crash land in the Midwest in someone's backyard? Why is every time they crash land out in the desert?
Bigger landing spot?
I don't know. Well, if you were an alien?
What's that, Rob?
Bigger landing spot?
Oh,
well, how big the things can go from 0 to 8,000?
Well, when I watched Independence Day, that ship looked pretty big.
Yeah. And okay, let's say so all these alien ships,
that's good. Hey,
they're little recon ships, right? They're just gathering information. And wouldn't you, if you're like, high command alien military guy, wouldn't you want to send your little recon ships to like the middle of nowhere just to limit the amount of exposure?
Okay, so then you get in there and it turns out the pilot sucked really bad.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So how many of those pilots suck really bad?
Well, the alien training process
program
is top
it's like
notch.
kindergarten. It's like a kindergarten class. Yeah.
No, it's top notch, baby. It's the top 0.001% of alien
I just
pilots.
can't. I don't know. Just I'm not saying it's not possible, but like, have you heard of Bob Lazar?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like he seems when you listen to him talk, he seems like he is the most believable person in the world. I'm like, this guy is the best liar I've ever seen, or he legit worked at the Area 51 place outside of it and is legit like a genius, and all this stuff is real. But the problem I got is he's never seen the creatures that go in those ships. He's just seen the ships.
Right. Yeah.
I want to see a creature.
And then you can mount it on your wall.
Okay. I'm with
If I see
you can put a 30-06 round. You can put a 30-06 round in him.
Yeah, then you can mount it on your wall.
7mm. I'll add them to one of those. I'll go up there.
Boom. Boom. That's gonna be a little more than 12 grand.
So you really think? What do you think? They're like little gray guys, or like what do you think?
I think they're us from the future.
Whoa!
Wow, Rob.
I don't think.
No, that's interesting, Rob.
Yeah, because then they have no gender. They have no.
They're not sure. They're not sure what they are.
They're all feeble.
Let's run for governor. We're not sure what we are.
They're all feeble.
Okay, let me ask. Can we go back to Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner?
No.
What do you mean? What do you mean back? When were we ever on Caitlyn Jenner?
No, I'm saying because we were talking about politics earlier.
Okay. What do you got?
So one quick thing about that. So why run for a Republican if you're transgender? The Republicans just voted
because
down
they want to
transgender
show
fast.
diversity, Chris.
But I'm saying you're not going to win as a Republican. You might win as a
How
liberal.
do you know? This might be the first person.
Because Republicans are the ones that assassinate people that come to try to run like that.
Yeah, I'm not in the inner circle of the gender political team.
No, I'm not either. But I just don't.
No,
Okay, so
I understand.
All I'm saying is,
to Rob's point,
remember Obama had the transgender bathrooms?
Yeah.
So be it. If you want to be transgender, you want your bathroom, whatever, that's fine. Do your thing. I would use the men's bathroom personally. But let's just say you wanted to, that's fine. Then Trump comes in and he slashes it down. Trump's on the Republican side, right? So what makes you think running, so be it. If the guy wants to be transgender, the girl, whatever you call him, if he wants to be transgender, that's fine. I'm not mad at the guy. I don't hate him or anything. That's your choice. We all have our choices here in America. That's fine. But like, why go on the Republican though? I feel like Republicans are anti-transgender.
I think the best way to take down Gavin Newsom in the state of California is from the right versus from the left, if that makes sense.
Interesting. So he's just trying to kind of do the
it's convenient. I think it's convenient to be a GOP ticket.
I think a lot of females run liberal even though they're Republican because it's an easier path to the top.
I would go the other way. I think if I was a female politician and I was right down the middle, I would lean right. Just because.
Why do you think it's easier to go? I think liberal way is the easier way to go to the top for women. I mean, look at Kamala Harris.
I disagree because I think getting out of your party would be the hard part, obviously. But once you're
if you haven't affiliated with your party, if you haven't fully affiliated with your party yet, because do you think Trump's really a full hard right Republican?
No.
I don't think he is, but I think
whatever the hell is.
I think he's just like we're talking about. He knew what he had to run for to get to where he had to go. Like he wasn't going to beat Hillary Clinton coming out the gate right away. He needed to gain momentum and get more traction to be before he could do that.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi, yeah, but Tulsi's issue is it's a long road to get out of the GOP, cesspool to represent her party on the ticket at the end of the day. Does that make sense? Sorry, I called your party a cesspool. That was
all right. Well, I gotta hit the road. I gotta hit the road because okay. I gotta go to lunch. You guys
go to lunch.
Lunchtime.
Go to lunch.
When you heading to Montana tomorrow?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Let me know. Probably. Let me know, and I'll drive out that way.
Chris Kaman.
How far is it for you to drive to Butte?
5 hours, 4 hours.
All right, sounds good. I'll hit you up later.
Chris Kaman, thank you, buddy.
All right, Jack.
Thank you again to Chris Kaman, especially thanks to Chris Kaman's wife, who called like 14 times while we were talking to him, and he declined her every single time. I think he said he was in a business meeting.
That whole interview, I can go back and listen to it 100 times, I feel.
Yeah, usually with guests, I have like a little fact sheet put together of things to bring up in case things go dry. Things
never
that well dry. Didn't go dry. That well is it's an eternal spring with Chris Kaman. So he's a good friend.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? That just goes to show we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but he's our buddy.
But we can just have a peaceful conversation about it. Amen. I don't know if it was peaceful, but it seemed peaceful.
Amen. Before we go, Rob, I've got an alien update for you.
It's this month.
June 29th is the deadline. June 29th is the deadline. The Pentagon has to present their report to Congress, and some information has been leaked, pal. You ready for this?
No, I'm not.
This is a segment I call Jack reading from a USA Today article he found this morning. A highly anticipated government report did not find evidence that the unexplained aerial phenomena linked to UFOs that Navy pilots have witnessed in recent years are alien spacecrafts. But the report also does not definitively say they aren't.
So what is that? What?
So the report is pretty much going to be, we have no evidence that aliens exist, but we can't tell you that they don't. The two
so I'm back to square one.
Yeah. The government has not reached a definitive conclusion about what these unidentified flying objects are, and many of their qualities remain a mystery, the officials told CNN and the New York Times. Blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It essentially goes on to say, they have to they have to present all their findings and, undergo some cross-examination later this month. The date is not set, but it has to be this month. And I'm not, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm not deterred in my
I feel like I
stance.
just got nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. They pretty much said, yeah.
Like, I'm ready to see the green guys.
Well, I don't think they got the green guys to show, pal, unless they're lying.
Well, obviously that statement just said nothing for me.
I know, I'm with you. We need to see the green guys.
We need to see the green guys. What if we're the first people, Jack?
To see the green guys?
We're talking to them right now. We're giving our announcement and they're ready to meet us.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's out there on the internet. They're listening. Speaking of aliens, have you seen Quiet Place 2 yet? Probably not, because you have a kid and lives. Kids and lives. You haven't seen A Quiet Place?
No.
Oh, your kids are probably too young. It's pretty scary.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
My kids watch Jaws, so
okay. I think Jaws is probably a pretty good comparison. It's scarier than Jaws, though, I think. But I know John Krasinski.
I don't know. Jaws can torment people from never swimming again in the ocean.
It's funny you say that because John Krasinski says a lot of his motivation, a lot of his muse came from Jaws. So very similar in that sense.
Buddy. You and I are always on the same frequency.
Yeah. Yeah. 90s female country. Hell yes. Hell yes. All right. So we wait and see on the aliens. It continues to be an ongoing saga. Thank you so much for listening. Please follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Speak Studios, all that jazz. DM us if you have questions. All are welcome. Please keep liking and retweeting. If you have to go into an Apple store, now that stores are reopening, if you go into an Apple store and you're waiting around for someone to talk to you, go phone to phone, find the podcast, find this podcast, hit subscribe, go to the next phone, do the same thing over and over and over again. Try to get 10 phones.
Ooh, I like that challenge.
I've done that before. It's pretty, I've done that.
I like that challenge.
What's the worst thing that happens?
Exactly.
They unsubscribe?
Exactly. It's not hurting our feelings.
No. Again, that's a dime. Think of you putting like a grain of rice on the plate of one of Rob's kids every time you do that.
Oh man, they're starving.
They're starving, folks. Starving. All right. That's all we got. Thank you for listening. Rob, what do you have for us?
Sometimes good things fall apart so better things can fall together.